The Kings play host to the Phoenix on Thursday night. Now, I'll tell you what, they'll be expecting to win big because the Phoenix have got players out all over the place. No imports for the Phoenix, other injuries. We've got development players and training players called up to the squad. So it'll be on the shoulders of Mitch Creek if the Phoenix are to keep it close. I don't think they can, so we'll take the Kings. Big win, little win. Jalen Adams has found some form, so we'll take him 20-plus points. And Mitch Creek, well, he has to score 20 because if he doesn't, they'll be non-competitive. Enjoy the game, the Kings and the Phoenix.
What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
Ball in the hands of the right man. He's having some sort of night. Adams can't be stopped.
Creek loads that one from outside.
Mitch Creek knocks down another three. Creek all the way.
Creek throws down the dart.
This is the Jalen Adams that was MVP of the league.
Adams responds as only Jalen Adams can.
Adams lets loose again. Creek throws it down.
Round 17 begins with a sold-out crowd at the Heartland in the southeast of Melbourne. But unfortunately for the Phoenix, tonight is more of a game of guess who. More faces folded down than there are still standing. Tonight is a massive task. And for the Sydney Kings, they teeter in fifth spot on the Mitsubishi Motors ladder. And in one of the most competitive seasons ever, they simply must keep winning. Great to have your company for the opening round of what is a very, very interesting round of matches. You can see the ladder as it stands right now. The Phoenix playing host to the Kings. I'm Jack Heron alongside Ryan Brockhoff and Pete Hooley. This is going to be a challenging night at the office for the Phoenix, Rowdy.
It is, as you said, lots of players missing. Lots of star players missing. Obviously no imports for the Phoenix, and a game for Sydney that they must win. They must show that desperation, and it is so tight in the NBL24 that every game is so important.
Well, for the Kings, Pete Hooley, they're not exactly flying at the moment either.
Well, they're not. I mean, they're coming off a loss, but it was definitely a better-looking Sydney team that we've seen in the recent weeks, and then they had a big win before that. They just got to keep winning at this point. Percentage may come into play. They're probably the one team in the top six. The percentage might not hurt them. You ever look at their run home? They play the Phoenix twice, and we talked about the Phoenix being undermanned and what's happened with them of late. They'd be very happy with that, but they've got a very favourable run home. And again, they haven't played their best up until now, but if they keep ticking off boxes and get anywhere close to that by the last game, they can cause some damage. They've got the talent to do it.
Spare a thought for the Phoenix and their coach, Mike Kelly's first year in the job, Rowdy. He's had nothing go right for him. What does he possibly try and do to engineer some sort of performance tonight?
Yeah, he'd be scratching his head, and the Phoenix woes continue injury-wise, but for him, he's going to have to play some of the young players. Just build the energy, build the confidence. If Phoenix get off to a good start, it builds the confidence with the young players. They just need a little spur, but as we look at this season, the ladder progression during the season, and look, that coincides with all their injury woes, and it's not easy. There's a lot of blame that goes on the coach, but it's hard to win games here in the NBL without your best players on the floor.
When the two teams played in round 10, it was the Phoenix who got the job done, 104-94 in Sydney, and in that game, Hools, Mitch Creek was a priority.
Yeah, he was, and again, they had a favourable matchup, and I think they'll be saying the same thing in this game right now. And he was going at DJ Hogue, who won't be there for the Sydney Kings yet, 33 points, and that's when Mitch Creek can be at his best, right? He sees if he's got a strength matchup, he'll go down low, he'll back someone down in the post, but if he's got that ability to put it on the floor from the high post and try and get to his sweet spot, then he can really put some points on the board. But the Kings know that as well, right? With all these players out, they're going to really load up and make someone else try and beat them. So if you are Ben Air, if you are Ruben Tauranga, even Cody Statman, have your feet set, ready to catch and shoot, because you're going to get some open looks.
Two of the marquee players in the competition tonight, Mitch Creek, you can see his numbers for the season. Jalen Adams as well is really starting to click into gear, but you want to see him play more, Rad?
I do, and his numbers look good, but the 29 minutes per game, I want to see that bumped up. It is crunch time for Sydney in their season. He is a player, a former MVP of this league, that really, as he goes, Sydney goes. He needs to be on the court more, start producing like he did last week. We finally started to see that dominant Jalen Adams, and Sydney need him for this run home.
Fifth in the competition for points per game this season, Jalen Adams, and was very good last Sunday, as we're seeing against the Perth Wildcats as well. 29 points in their very competitive loss. But the story for the night tonight, no doubt, is the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. Let's get courtside to the State Basketball Centre. Nerily Meadows is there. Nez, it's been a tough week. In fact, it's been a tough second half of the season for the Phoenix.
certainly has. And speaking to Phoenix CEO Tommy Greer a short time ago, he says he's never seen anything quite like it. Captain Mitch Creek is the only starter fit and available for this one tonight. And in fact, even six-man Matt Kenyon has been ruled out. Of those stars, Abdul Nader is the only one who hasn't officially been ruled of Saturday night's game up against the Perth Wildcats as well. Abdul Nader considered a game time decision. He has suited up, but my understanding is he will not play a part in this game tonight against the Kings. And watching him warm up, he only used his left hand. The ball barely touched his right hand, so not expecting him to play a role. In fact, the curve's so bad, even assistant coach Sam McKinnon is unavailable. He's been ruled out with illness. A chance for the kids to stand up. All four development players are in the active 11.
Nicely done, Nez. Great to have you with us tonight. There's the Sydney Kings starting lineup, which has been fairly settled in the last couple of weeks now that they've got Jalen Galloway back from injury. I sort of half expected both of you two to get the call up tonight, actually.
Well, the man next to me got a phone call at some stage this season. He would be out there. Have a look at the starting five. Cody Statman is into the starting lineup, and we just saw some pictures of the bench when you've got your star players in polos, and there's more of them than active players on the bench almost. Can be a bit of a troublesome side.
Yeah, it was a starting five that's just in polos for the Phoenix tonight. So let's see how they start this game. It's going to be really important to get off to a good start as Valentine gets into lane and gets Sydney on the board.
An early statement of intent. I guess the other way to talk about this, Rowdy, is if you're the Kings and you know you're coming up against such an undermanned opposition, how do you approach this game?
Oh, you just have to realise the importance of it and not take anyone for granted. Although Phoenix are missing players, they still have players like Creek who, on cue, welcome, thank you, hits the three, but they've got to play to their fullest potential. They've got to attack and be aggressive. For Phoenix, on the other hand, as we head to the replay, good ball move from Ruatarangi, finds an open Mitch Creek, and that's the one guy who, as we spoke about, should not be left open tonight.
A few of those is Jalen Adams from the corner in the heart. Other thing with that, Jack, is you can't go into this game looking down the other end, right? Because that's when you can lay an egg. You can go out there and not perform to the best of your abilities.
Here's Cody Statman for three.
Just like that.
Look at the Phoenix go in.
Well, that's it. That's what can happen, right? There's a free swing opportunity here for a bunch of these guys that normally, if this team's at full strength, Cody Statman comes in maybe for spot minutes in a blowout or something like that. And even guys like Luke Rosendale, Rossetto, these guys who would come in, as we see the replay here, if they mess up once or twice, they might not play again for the rest of the season. That opportunity is not the same in this game. You're going to get a whole lot of minutes to try and play through mistakes and try and grow. And as hard as it is, it's easy to say, but just try and have some fun.
Both of the buckets early for Sydney coming via Denzel Valentine. Creek, everything will run through him tonight. He steps out of bounds.
Yeah, you expect a heavy dose of Mitch Creek with Alex Tui guarding right now. They're trying to get him in the low post. And again, we saw it just before when they went inside and he ended up with the three ball, but Jordan Hunter came across the double. So Gorjok Gak, go and sit on the rim, try and get a dump off. Valentine tries to get another one going. It's going to stay Sydney ball, and if you're Ben Air, you're Ruben Tarangi, you just square up on the three-point line, get ready for a kick out and let that thing fly.
That's it. And I think Phoenix might be junking it up defensively tonight, maybe throwing some zone, maybe throwing some different looks at players, just to throw off any rhythm and momentum for Sydney. But that's a good drive from Tui, but just finding ways to just junk up this game, make it more scrappy. It will suit their game and their style a little bit better.
Ben Air to the rack. He scores from underneath. A positive start to the undermanned Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. Sydney Kings, it's such a big weekend for them after tonight. They're back home on Sunday at Kudos Bank Arena. It was Tui knocks down the little jumper. They've got Melbourne United on Sunday. Huge game for both teams, in fact.
Yeah, it's going to be the test, and Melbourne United finally starting to get some health back with two of their best players returning from their stints on the sideline. But it's a big weekend for hoops. It's going to be, I think I heard you during the week call it moving round. It's going to be so important to win games this weekend, and there's some great matchups to sit and watch.
I think we can have a look at this. So you heard the initial conversation with the ref saying play on the ball, but my initial look, I thought that there might be something else to it, but they're not going to. There was a turnover from Ben Air, and I'll tell you what, anytime you you just grab the arm like that, you're in a little bit of danger. You might have got away with something there, but if you're the Phoenix, one thing you can't do is turn the ball over. You've got to get a shot every single time down the floor.
Jalen Galloway swings back up to Hunter. That ball constantly in rhythm. Now Hunter rolls to the cup. The Phoenix have a little win defensively. Sold out crowd in Melbourne southeast. Ben Air pulls up and knocks it down.
Perfect start.
Playing free and with confidence, and they've been getting the ball into the paint, finding the open man, but that's just a great one-on-one move.
Oh, boy.
Adams underneath. They're going to have a hard time stopping that.
That was delightful. Jalen Adams just froze Ben Air, and late decision-making to drop that off to Jordan Hunter as see some substitutions ready to come in for Mike Kelly.
Creek through contact, scores and one.
13 points, potentially 14 points on the board in the first 3.5 minutes. It's the Harvey Norman replay. As we expected, Brady, we're going to see a heavy dose of this. And if I'm the Kings, I know Denzel Valentine is more than capable of that matchup, but somebody else has to beat you, right? When they're missing so many key players, as soon as Mitch Creek starts to face up in the post and really slows down, whoever's closest has to go, and you just fully rotate and you just continue to rotate until somebody else other than Mitch Creek gets the ball and takes a contested shot.
Yeah, that's a good point. Make someone else beat you.
Phoenix with an early lead. Tick down to 6 minutes remaining in this opening quarter. Hunter was fined underneath, but Valentine has a fumble. And picks up a foul to go with it.
That's his second, so he'll probably sit for a few minutes here in the first half. But good intent from the Phoenix, being able to get on the rim, start the game looking like a team playing with confidence. It's not what I guess we expected, and Sydney probably some question marks and concerns that Phoenix are able to score at such ease to begin the game. Back into the post with Creek.
Good time though. 4 points early for Mitch Creek, 2 of 3 from the field. And Adams always just has more time.
To be honest, I think he can get to that a whole lot more. We've seen it so far this season. His ability to get in that deep in the paint has Ben Air. Ben Air with a heat check from 4 possessions ago. But Jalen Adams, he has the ball on a string, and just when he gets there, he's so patient. That's going to be an offensive foul, potentially. Good take there from Mitch Creek.
Officials tonight, Chris Reed, Ruben Woolcock and Alex McEwen.
Worried about that arm popping around the outside.
How good's that side though? SBC packed. Back in the heartland. And the Phoenix off to a good start. We get our first look at Owen Foxwell checking into the game.
And Creek doubled. He swings to Reese Vague, feet set. He's having a great season shooting. His first look is no good. Kawatnoy, Glover also into the game. Noy steps out of bounds.
Good job from Ruben Train. Just looked like he got beat, but moved his feet enough to cause the turnover. 3 turnovers now for Sydney.
Is that what you're telling me? Is that what you're telling me?
Rosendale also into the game, which on any other night you would say Mike Kelly heading to the back end of his bench, but that's the necessity tonight.
That's the necessity, and this is a chance for these players to show what they can do. Build a little bit of confidence. Injuries are going to remain for the Phoenix for the rest of the season, so get some confidence for them, help with their development, and then looking forward to next year.
You can see the Sydney Kings wearing their pink jerseys tonight. They wore them as part of the McGrath Foundation game, which was fantastic. They raised some valuable money. The Flames were also involved. They've chosen to wear it again tonight and to continue to raise awareness for a wonderful cause.
Oh, it's wonderful, and it was a beautiful display that entire Sunday. I'm all for continuing to wear it the rest of the season. We don't often see teams wear it after the result doesn't go their way on the floor, but I thoroughly enjoy it.
Jonah Bolden also checking in. He's returned from an injury tonight. Hasn't been the most fluent start from the Kings.
No, it hasn't. A few turnovers to begin. Jalen Adams is great when he's got into lane, but just not coming and executing like we'd expect to really take control of the game from the beginning.
We see a young prospect get called for the foul. There's Aaron Williams. Austin Rapp, who just committed to Portland a couple of days ago. 18-year-old, and from what I understand, played a practice match in the under-20 Vic team last night against Eltham. Had a very good outing, and now he's here playing some rotation minutes in the first quarter.
Young legs, he should be right to go as Creek from one end to the other has 7 of the Phoenix 17 points in the first term. With Jalen Adams getting busy at the other end.
He's so hard to guard when he gets downhill like that and aggressive from the start. Phoenix have got a good job, got to do a better job of staying in front of him, but he's had his way with him this morning to begin the game.
Blocked by Bolden. Good D from the Kings. It'll be a Phoenix ball from the baseline, 7 on the clock.
To be honest, I think that we might see a timeout here by now for the Sydney Kings. Not panic stations or any reasons like that, but just to kind of say, okay, they've started really well, maybe even trying to break that momentum, and hey, we need to be a whole lot sharper because they're punishing.
With his feet set.
They're punishing him. They're going to take a whole lot of threes. 4 and 5.
They're moving the ball really well offensively as Foxwell gets caught with his hand in the cookie jar. But they're moving the ball, they're sharing the ball, they're driving, kicking, very simple stuff offensively, but being able to knock down a 3, and now they've got some really good young three-point shooters, so we'll see how they go.
You can celebrate Scottie Pippen's return to Australia. He loved it so much last time that he's back, and he's bringing a couple of mates with him, Luke Longley and Horace Grant as part of the No Ball Tour. We've got VIP experiences up for grabs as well. You can jump online and scan the QR code and get along. There's merch packs available. There's all sorts of good stuff.
It's going to be an incredible night, and the stories that those 3 would have, and oh geez, worth the price of admission for sure.
You're going to leave there with a lot of Christmas material too, aren't you? Because that's what you're going to, and the family, you're sitting around the table and say, hey, I heard this story from Horace Grant, and you're going to add your own little tweaks to it, and all of a sudden it's going to be the most outlandish thing, and then they're going to go to work the next day, and in a couple of years' time, we're going to hear it floating around Chapel Street that Horace Grant and Scottie Pippen and like, that's not how it happened. I was there.
But so you can add mayo to that and say, well, Horace Grant actually told me.
Yeah.
As if you were the only person that he told.
Exactly right, and no one can question him.
Jalen Adams makes all 3. So here's where it gets interesting from a Phoenix point of view. Mitch Creek on the bench right now. It's a lineup of Statman, Gack, Rosendale, Vague, and Foxwell. Try and navigate these last 3.5 minutes as Foxwell gets it to tumble. The Phoenix have 22 on the board.
Everything's falling for them right now. Everything's going right offensively. 8 of 12 from the field as a team. Sydney need to do a better job defensively.
Bolden rolls to the basket. Nice find from Adams.
That last one from Fox, that's just a tough make. So you're okay with that, but you look at how many open threes they've had. I mean, they're 4 of 5 from 3. Yes, they're knocking down shots, but I think we expected Sydney to be a little bit more locked in on the defensive end, and that from Luke Rosendale, just to get that deep and just a little bit of a brush off. Look at a weight room action, Rowdy. But if you're the Kings, you're not happy with this start defensively.
Bolden from outside. Nothing but net for Jonah Bolden, a 38% three-point shooter on the season.
For his confidence, that's really good. He's been up and down during periods of the season, but that's a good one for his confidence. And I want to see more from Gack tonight from the Phoenixes. Foxwell playing with confidence.
This is what it does. Absence creates opportunity. And you know that, okay, well, I'm going to have extended minutes here. Why not go out there and just make some plays? And that's what Jalen Adams does on a very consistent basis.
9 points for Jalen Adams as he becomes the game's leading scorer, but the Phoenix and their young group are playing without fear. The challenge for them is, can it last for the length of the game? But so far, so good.
Yeah, and that's what you think Sydney's mindset would be at, right? There's Jonah Bolden knocking one down. And then, Foxwell answers right back. You're going to go underneath? No worries. I'll step back from NBA range. But Sydney will be also thinking to players like, well, they're not going to shoot this well the entire game. And we know what players they're missing. And again, if you don't dictate some things defensively, and they're going to start feeling really good. That's a great pass. That's a great roll. They've got 29 on the board.
Yeah, it's an incredible start, but yeah, they're just playing with freeness and confidence, and being young, you don't realise the moment. You don't realise that you should be taking a back seat to Sydney. They've got all this talent. They're playing free as Bolden hits another. It's just a free-flowing offensive game.
Who needs defence, Rowdy?
Well, two teams that are probably not known for their defence throughout the season are just letting it fly offensively and keeping it nice and entertaining for us.
Mitch Creek wants a lick of the ice cream as well. He's got 9 points.
Well, again, this is that kind of...
Oh, so what are we doing, half-time? We going to get some shots up?
Well, we're talking about playing free. That's exactly what's happening. Going out there and realising any half-decent look where you think in the past, those half-decent looks, even that one nearly goes down. But, OK, maybe we're going to get the ball through hands. If that first one's there, we can wait to get it side to side. But why not? There's Andrew Bogut, courtside.
Checking out the phone, thinking, well, hang on, this is not how it was supposed to start for us.
And if NBL24 has taught us anything, is that anything is possible in this league. And if you keep a team and let a team hang around or have that confidence, it gets harder and harder as the game goes by to start wearing them down and breaking that confidence for them. So the perfect start for the Phoenix.
And everything you spoke about pre-game, Rowdy and Halls, about Mitch Creek. There's Alan Williams out for the remainder of the season with a knee injury. No Craig Moller tonight with a knee, also out for the season. Gary Brown not playing with a groin, just to recap. And Matt Kenyon also not out there tonight. And Abdel Nader has suited up, but probably won't play.
Well, now let's break down, because they put it on the tweet that Abdel Nader will suit up tonight after being a game-time decision. There was no word of Elijah. He is, in fact, suited up. Will he play? As Nez said, probably not. And by probably, he won't play. But he's suiting up. So they didn't lie.
Okay, guys, line up.
Here is Abdel Nader.
Let's go, line up. Let's go, fellas.
I think the last time that we went through this with Abdel Nader, he still had the earrings in.
Here we go.
Luke Travers also went through that this season as well, where he was suited up but had the earrings in.
Yeah,
Nader's
telltale sign.
he's got the bling off tonight.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Maybe. Quach Malawatch,
well,
excellent last Sunday against Perth.
Had a couple
of highs, 18
very good.
Had a couple of these moments where he comes in, and to be honest, it probably gives them more of a headache to the Sydney Kings coaching staff, because they've got enough players to have to try and get through and get minutes and find out what lineups and rotations they want to go with. Just to add another one into the mix come playoff time is just more headaches potentially.
Yeah, and as I was talking about, I guess, pre-game, it's you get your best players on, start playing more minutes, but more players keep popping up, and how do you continue to not play them? As why not? Creek hits another three.
Got 36 on the board in the first quarter, Jack.
This is incredible stuff from the Phoenix. An offensive blitz against the Kings. Bolden can't score from underneath. Shot clock switched off. What a quarter this has been.
6 of 7 from 3.
Shooter's gym, SBC. It is a shooter's gym.
One last look for the home team.
I'll hit it.
Creeks hit everything else in the first quarter. That one doesn't count. Southeast Melbourne have 36 points to their name at quarter time, with a host of injuries longer than the Monash Freeway. 36-27 in the opening term. Stick with us. This is Thursday Night Hoops and the Hungry Jacks NBL. It's quarter time on Thursday Night Hoops, and just when you thought you had it all figured out, the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix go ahead and do whatever they like, have 36 points to their name at quarter time. Sydney have 27. The Phoenix, with all of their injury challenges, have made an outstanding start to this game.
Well, this is what we all predicted. This is exactly how we said this game was going to unfold, and give a lot of credit to the Phoenix. The way they came out, 6 of 8 from 3. That last one from Mitch Creek hurts the percentage. We had to get it up there. And what I'm, I guess, most surprised about, there's a couple of things. And that's going to be 2 free throws to quiet. No timeouts at all from Sydney, where you thought that, okay, they're knocking down some shots, but they're also getting some good looks by getting that deep. Call a timeout and just say, hey, this is not good enough. Our defense is not going to be there. Yes, maybe they won't shoot this well for the rest of the game, but who's to say they won't?
That's it. Do something to break their rhythm, change something up defensively, even the timeout, as you said. But it's quite concerning just the way Sydney attacked this game from the beginning. If they really put the foot down to begin with, got stops, built a nice little lead, you'd see the confidence fall from the Phoenix with their young players. But to let them play open and free and shoot the ball with such openness, it's hard to now peg back. It's hard to now settle down.
Nerily Meadows, you were listening in at quarter time.
It's almost like Rowdy knows what he's talking about, because it was defense, 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 conceding 36 points in a quarter against a team that only had one starting 5-player available. Jordan Hunter was the one that actually led it to start with. He said, stop letting them get open looks, particularly open threes. The coach chimed in, we've got to get stops, we've got to play defense. It's all at that end of the floor.
Zach Rosetto throws a flat dart at the basket.
And this is something I think, Pete, you brought up throughout the season with Sydney and their defense and their switching and just sort of the lackadaisical nature of that kind of defense. You can be passive. Tonight was a game to come out aggressive, get aggressive on all ball screens, get up and in defensively, change the momentum that way. But they've just come out playing how they usually do, which hasn't had much success on the defensive end.
And again, we spoke about how important, and everyone would have done the same around the Phoenix, and how important it was for them to get off to a good start, right? Where they're undermanned severely, try and get confidence in. Just as well on the other side, it was so important for Sydney to get off to a good start because of exactly what you mentioned, Rowdy. You give young players confidence and they start shooting the ball well. Foxwell came in and he had 7 points, hasn't missed a shot. All of a sudden their spirits are up, and then it takes a little bit more firepower to try and squash it down.
They've had everything else so far tonight, Phoenix fans. They'd love some burgers. And Jordy Hunter is a giving man.
Oh, I know what I'm getting on the way home tonight.
Yes,
beautiful.
Please. Code word is basket for all Victorian Hoops fans.
As you see, Phoenix back into the post with Creek. Valentine's got the 2 fouls. One that Creaky usually gets to fall down, but good idea for the Phoenix to attack those with foul trouble. We know Valentine's not going to be over-aggressive defensively.
Kawat Noi from long range. That's more like it for the Kings. (36-32). Early stages in the second term. A sold-out State Basketball Centre in Melbourne Southeast. Melbourne Tarangi. It's 2 more to roll.
Bit of weight room stuff. Might have been in that new facility.
Just picking them apart off that pick and roll. I think Phoenix need to change up out of that drops defense. Maybe get something aggressive, get it out of Adams' hands, have someone else create for them. But he's just getting down the lane, finding others, scoring for himself. He's too good to be left that wide open.
Drops defense is so hard to get right, and we've seen a certain few teams be able to do it at an elite level, and you can't do it against Jalen Adams. He's too crafty, and another one that Phoenix did it again a couple of weeks ago was Bryce Cotton, and he nearly went for 50.
Yeah, and Jordy Hunter's a great roller as well. He times his run off that screen, so when he gets the pass, he's already up and at the rim, or here's a lob threat. They're a 1-2 combination, that pick and roll, that's hard to guard in the drops.
Claire McIntyre sitting with Kawhi Noi.
We're here from Fleur at halftime. She caught up with Nerily Meadows pre-game. She's off to the WNBA as the assistant general manager of the Phoenix Mercury. What an amazing opportunity for such a wonderful person.
Amazing opportunity in her hard work and helping to revitalise us. Got a foul here on the drive. And being part of this Sydney success over the last couple of years, it's actually a bit of a blow for the NBL. Obviously, head coach caliber coach that's leaving to go over to the States, but we wish her all the best and looking forward to the halftime segment.
Denzel Valentine just picked up his third foul, and he did not have to do it because I'm not sure Gak was going to get that lob, and he's not happy with himself. I don't think he's upset about the call. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot in there, but he just didn't have to put a forearm in the back at all. The pass was an errant one. It's been there. Certain players who just kind of love these games when the superstars are out. Ben Ayre's one of those, right? Or you just know, okay, some more shots coming my way. Here's that third foul, and just didn't have to do it. Just didn't have to be there. And worst case, say the pass is on the money. It's just a dunk, and otherwise you're sitting down now for what is probably going to be the rest of this half.
Tarangi walks into a three. That's missing by a considerable margin. The Phoenix have just had a little bit of struggle finding the bottom of the net in this second quarter. The Kings have not, and they've cut it back to a one-point game.
Timeout here from Mike Kelly, no surprise. Sydney's starting to roll on the offensive end, especially. Here's the Harvey Norman replay, and when you're mismatched in transition and you've got Gordrock Gak trying to figure out who have I got, and he turns around and sees a reigning MVP, and all of a sudden he's thinking, this is not where I need to be. Jalen Adams knocks it down. 14 points now.
And just like that, things can change. And speaking of Fleur McIntyre, we mentioned we're going to hear the chat in full at halftime with Nerily Meadows. Here was a little portion of it talking about what the Kings need to do tonight.
What's the key tonight?
Yeah, look, I think we were dreadful last time we played these guys, and we know that they're a really good team. We know that they've got players out, but any team with Mitch Creek in it is a dangerous proposition, and we know that it's opportunities for everyone else. We have been wildly inconsistent this year, and we know that anything but our best is not going to get the job done tonight.
Written and authorised by the Assistant General Manager of the Phoenix Mercury.
Well, it's great to see the honesty kind of come out, and they have been so up and down, but starting to see a little bit more of Sydney basketball here in the second quarter and trim the lead and playing with that offensive flow that makes them so dangerous. It's just the defensive end. Tidy that up and they're going to be fine tonight.
10-2 run in this term.
More so, I think, yeah, that is the concerning part right up until this point has been the defense, because regardless of what happens offensively, I think they're going to score as many points as they need to against an undermanned Phoenix, but defensively, that first quarter wouldn't have been acceptable. Now just to say, okay, well, we've already had that quarter. That's in the past. We've got 3 quarters now to lock in on this end. Offensively, we're going to get what we want, but we need to lock up because they've started really well. They're feeling confident, and now we've got to peg it back.
9 down at quarter time. The Kings are now within 1. Tarangi with a shot clock down to 9, rolls that back into Creek. Tarangi will have to be the man. That's too easy.
That was exceptional defense for 22 seconds. You had Galloway and Tui, they were switching. Malawatch was standing in the help side. They had deflections. Everybody was moving, and I was just about to say that's the best defensive set they've had, and they give up a blow-by and get downhill. That will frustrate the Kings coaching staff more than anything.
In some respects, it's kind of been symptomatic of their season, Sydney, is they tend to just drop in and out of games and in and out of moments.
Yeah, it was full of energy, that first 22 seconds, as you said, but a straight line drive to Ruben Tarangi, and scouting report, he's better going to his right, especially to finish, as they get a lucky one there off the offensive rebound.
Now, Jalen Adams should be credited for an offensive rebound and assist in that. I'm not sure whether they'll count it as just a loose rebound that fell to Jordan Hunter. But I'm pretty sure that was his tip.
Here's Faye back into the game. 12 points when they played in round 10 in that match that Fleur McIntyre was talking about. Was 4 of 6 from outside. It was his best shooting performance of the season. And here's young Austin Rapp, a teenager, who is a name to watch for the future.
Yeah, heading off to the States here this year, Portland Pilot, so obviously going to follow his career with great intrigue because he's got a lot of size, he's got great skill, can shoot the ball for a tall and a young fella, so yeah, he's one to watch.
An opportunity this is for him.
Has Hoop City got any NIL deals floating around?
Are you looking to go back to college?
Well, not me, but...
You can't go back, Van Wilder. Your time is done.
I did feel like Perry Ellis at one stage.
Jalen Adams lays it up and puts the Kings in front for the first time since the opening bucket.
Again, downhill, his ability to get downhill out of pick and roll as we get to the replay, and that was going against the screen. Creaky's got to force him to the screen where the help side is, but his ability to change direction, change speeds, get on the rim and finish, he's been an absolute star to start this game.
This is a danger period right now for the Phoenix because of exactly what you just mentioned, Rowdy. How easily he's turning the corner and getting into the heart of the defense. He is too good of a player. Anytime that he catches it on that Logan where he's standing right now, if he can get to there and navigate his way there very patiently, the whole floor opens up. He's one of the best at making the right read after that.
Wrapped up the other end, misses the jam. It was fouled and landed hard. He had a chance to put himself on the highlight reel.
Geordie Hunter's going to get called for the foul here with that little left hand on the back. Might not look like a whole lot, but it does. As previous athletes, Rowdy,
exactly.
who lived above the rim. But no, it does, right? It's just a momentum thing, a little bit of a push. A little bit of a touch. I think we might actually be getting a coach's challenge. Just as we were about to say that. And I'm intrigued to think about.
We have a coach's challenge.
If you've got any sort of contact, right, with this left hand on the back, it doesn't matter the severity of it as much. If there's enough to just to say that you're leaning that way and just making any sort of pushing notion with he's in the air and momentum, you're going to lose this challenge.
You think so, and that's sort of the dangerous part of basketball is when players are in the air and either players getting underneath them or giving them the push at the back where they lose sort of their balance in the air, and you're probably looking at it. Yeah, it's minimal contact, but
should have made the dunk anyway.
Exactly. He even went two hands for safety as well. So, but let's just hope he's all right because that was a tough call.
Again, very similar to. I'm gonna look here with that left hand. Oh, maybe. Tell you what, that angle shows that maybe his left hand is by his side. And the baseline angle kind of looks like the left hand goes. I'm not sure he actually.
He is behind.
Yeah, I think the broadcast view shows that. I don't think his hand actually, because it's by his side. He might be okay, as we said. This one right here, there's actually no clear. That left hand is kind of down by his side, is it?
It's hard to tell. Luckily, the referees have the better camera angles who can zoom in and get a better look at it than we can. But yeah, it's very hard to tell. I'll be very close.
As I was saying, if there was a clear left hand on the back, it's an obvious.
Yeah.
An obvious one. And that's what happened to, I mean, think about what happened to Andrew Bogan. Remember that freak injury? Again, it was just a little bit of a push on the back in that exact same instance. Playing for Milwaukee.
It's a long coach's challenge.
The coach's challenge will be successful. We'll restart the game with a jump ball.
There we go. Again, that's why you look at all the angles and have a little zoom in, because that baseline footage, I think we all thought, okay, you can see his left hand, he's just getting caught up. But this one right here kind of shows where's the left hand on the back, and then I think there you see the left hand there. Left hand was underneath the glute. Oh, he's
so we pumped up Austin Rapp and he just blew a dunk.
Yeah.
Yeah. He just missed it.
But by the time the whistle is blown, blood has possession? No. It's on active shooting. The shot misses. We restart with the jump ball.
As Chris Reid explaining, we're saying that we had possession off that rebound that wasn't to be, but because it was in the act of shooting and the challenge was successful, it'll be a jump ball that Mitch Creek is very eager for.
He knew he had to try and steal it with Geordie.
Kings by one. We've had the better of this second term. Hunter stripped. Benaire's hands were swift. And Creek can't score the first time. Second time around is foul.
Geordie Hunter, he's been scouted there. We've seen this a lot this season, Geordie Hunter, and whether it's a set play or not, but he loves to fake a handoff and go downhill and slam it. Jumps off the right leg normally here. Ben Air just put his hands in there knowing exactly what was coming.
His eyes lit up there, Geordie. He was like, I'm about to be open down the lane, get a highlight play. But great hands from Ben to start the fast break and end up with Mitch Creek on the free throw line to put Phoenix back in front.
Yeah, back to Austin Rapstar. If he doesn't play a practice match last night, has he got freshies to get upstairs and dunk? I know he's 18, but sometimes the knees just need a little bit more recovery.
He should be right to play 3 games a day at 18. Easy from up here, though.
Very easy.
Phoenix take the lead back. Mitch Creek. He's the equal leading scorer in the game with 16. Is Galloway blows past Rapp with the jam.
Wow, they've obviously targeted Rapp, young player, put him on an island against one of the most explosive players in the NBL. And that was an unbelievable finish.
That's vicious.
Oh. Rattled the rims at the State Basketball Centre. Adams, nice pass underneath for Hunter. The Kings starting to get things on their terms, but this is something special.
That right there, he's going to end up on Instagram.
That's welcome to the NBL moment.
Gets up so quickly.
I love it, he just runs back like it's nothing. It's just another dunk.
And check out the official NBL app. It's your home for all of the breaking news, the stats, behind-the-scenes content, so much more. And it's free, which is even better because we all love free stuff. It's the perfect companion for every game and every moment of this NBL24 season. Download it now.
Much better first 5 minutes here of the second quarter from the Sydney Kings on the defensive end. As we keep saying, offensively, I feel like they won't have too many issues trying to score the ball. They've got 45 points on the board themselves with 5 minutes to go in the second, setting up for a monstrous score. They've just got to lock in defensively.
I think for the Phoenix here, it might be a set to get Mitch Creek down in the low post again, play out of him, let him create for others as well as himself, and just sort of steady the momentum a little bit.
Listen, last season NBL 1 teammates, Eltham Wildcats, Glover versus Foxwell.
This pass for Tarangi was intercepted. A couple of Sydney hands on the way through. Plenty of time on the shot clock here for Sydney. Glover's pass partially knocked down. Now he's wide open.
Well, again, they can identify they've got mismatches, so they're trying to get to it. But again, you've got the coach as Mitch Creek gets to the free throw line. When the coach is screaming and everyone else is aware of it, so are the Phoenix. So you take your time. They got it down to underneath 10 seconds when they tried to force that in there to Alex Tui versus Foxwell. And again, all 5 Phoenix players knew where it was going. They just packed it, got the turnover and got out in transition.
Yeah, Mitch Creek is an absolute train. He's a bull out in transition and gets the arm tangled and gets to the free throw line. But as you said, they've called it out, they've spotted, everyone stopped moving, and it's just stopped any offensive cuts or motion for Sydney. It's a stand out, we'll try and throw it in, tip pass, they end up getting an okay shot, luckily, but it's not within the flow of the offense. They've got to do it. They've got to find those mismatches without stopping the offense completely.
And they're going to be there a lot tonight. They're going to have mismatches all over the floor. So unless it's Jalen Adams or Sean Bruce bringing the ball up the floor and identifying it and running a play from the jump, you just got to run your set.
Phoenix have got a bonus free throw here. Halsey, a little surprised we haven't seen Luke Rosendale in the second quarter. Had 5 points on 2 of 2 when he came on in quarter number 1.
Well, I want to say yes, but at this stage, with the way they're rotating, there's all surprises. But nothing in the 3 ball. Trying to find some other things that stick. Now, I think Foxwell has got those minutes right now. He had the 7 points. Creek's got 18 points. It's always good when the graphics in the pre-game highlighting Jalen Adams and Mitch Creek, and they go out there and put on a show.
The only 2 players in the game in double figures, Creek and Adams. Rosendale back out there on cue. Good luck guarding Adams. Did okay though. Bolden left that short. Gets another look at it. Still scrapping Jonah Bolden eventually. Creek took it away.
Oh, I tell you what.
And I don't think Angus Glover's too happy with the call.
Listen to that noise from the crowd. They're into tonight's game. But I tell you what, he is a bit hard done by, I think, on that one. That one's tough.
Yeah, and again, he's just got to try and control that, right? Because there's Mitch Creek getting the sold-out State Basketball Centre crowd up and about. But if you just can try and turn around and plead your case to your coach, saying, hey, have a look at reviewing this. You just won the last one. I didn't do a whole lot wrong.
And a deep breath for Angus Glover with a T next to his name. Spent his winter playing NBL1 South, but Eltham not too far away from tonight's game. In the same state, at least. It's Foxwell. Deep on that three. Bolden has had a good night shooting the ball. That one jumps out late. It's the Kings who lead by one. Reece Vague not shy. And Phoenix ball from the baseline.
Yeah, it's got to be scrappy the last couple of minutes. I think Phoenix need to find a set, get them settled down, get the ball through hands, find a good open shot for them, and Sydney just playing a bit careless with the ball.
Glover comes out of the game.
To a nice reception.
Home fans are making their feelings known. Foxwell couldn't get that to count. Noy in the open court. And he's shooting free throws.
Glover still hasn't sat down on the bench. But I don't mind the scrappiness from southeast Melbourne. It's okay to be scrappy at times when you're trying to figure some things out and just try and throw different looks at Sydney. Just keep them guessing.
Reminder later on tonight, as soon as we finish up here, we take you straight across to RAC Arena. The Perth Wildcats will be hosting the Illawarra Hawks. The Wildcats have won 13 of their last 15 games. They are the hottest team in the competition right now.
It's been a remarkable turnaround from where they were to begin the season and the pressure on them and especially on Coach John Riley to where they are now. They are on fire.
Is he Coach of the Year?
He's definitely very well in the discussion, that's for sure.
For the Hawks, they just need to win after losing a couple in a row. Ben Eyre ties it up at 47. Tick down to 3 minutes before halftime. Very low expectations of the Phoenix coming into tonight, but so far, they're holding their own. Upstairs. Phoenix back in front. The sold-out State Basketball Centre roars.
Wow, what a finish.
That's sizing up Jalen Galloway as well. Mitch Creek just had a little look at the corner of his eye and said, if you want to jump with me, you have to meet me at the rim.
Mitch Creek playing to the crowd again.
That's all sparked by a great defensive effort, but again, Sydney tried to spread it out, find the mismatch, and stood still, and great hands from Reece Vague on the ball against Jalen Adams leads to a fast break, and those sort of momentum-changing plays are really, really hard for Sydney to give up to this young and energetic Phoenix team tonight.
There was a period midway through this second quarter where it felt like Sydney, from a momentum point of view, was starting to get on top, starting to get the game on their terms, but full credit to the Phoenix, they've pushed back hard.
Yeah, no doubt. We were highlighting the first 5 minutes of the second quarter was much better defensively from Sydney, and now they've kind of resorted back to what the first quarter was, and they've got no answer right now for this man, Mitch Creek. He's got 20 points, 4 rebounds. just making it all happen. We saw there a couple of possessions, right, Rowdy, where they actually looked like everybody was moving. They had their best two wing defenders switching on to Mitch Creek, and okay, they've kind of settled it down, and then they got blown by the last 2 seconds of the shot clock. And this Phoenix team is up and about. The one thing that they had to do was come out firing, and they've got the jump on Sydney.
Let's not forget about a game last year between these two in Country Victoria, where that man put on an epic individual display. He is capable of anything on any night, and you cannot let him get ahead of steam. He's already got 20 points here in the second quarter. He is on track for an enormous game.
And as you said earlier, Rowdy, this season has thrown up all sorts of scenarios and results. We've had an Adelaide team come from nowhere to now being playing contention. Illawarra, the same. We've had shock results all season long. You just never know.
You never know. You never know, but it's a great start for the Phoenix. It's all about, can they maintain it here in the second half, and can Sydney find the energy on the defensive end to shut down the young Phoenix?
They've lost 8 of their last 9 games, the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, by an average losing margin of 25 points.
It's not a good way to come out of the timeout.
Now, when Phoenix have made the change on the on-ball screens, they're no longer in the drops. That was a hard show the last 2 times. They've forced some turnovers. Oh, that looked good from where we were.
That looks even better.
Offensive rebound after the turnover.
23 first half points for Mitch Creek. Kawat Noi at the other end dances through the paint for an easy layup.
If you had told me that with all these key outs to the Phoenix, that with 2 minutes to go in the second quarter, they'd have 52 on the board, I'd tell you you're dreaming.
For the game, maybe.
I would honestly say, jousting sticks, tell him he's dreaming. And another 2, and that's just too easy.
Mitch Creek uses the shot fake as good as anybody in the league to get players off their feet out of their stand to be able to tap it. Where's the help side? There's one man you have to stop us. That is a great take by Potnoy. He's off to, he's in double figures now, and he's a leading candidate for the 6th man of the year. He's been really good.
Here's Mitch Creek before we get to Kawat Noi. Sometimes when it's your night, it's your night. Long rebound off the rim. He is dominant in this first half. Kawat Noi makes the extra. 10.5 points a game. Best part of 5 rebounds. He's a candidate, 6th man of the year.
Has to be.
I still think there's a... Ian Clark might have a hand on it. Not 2 hands, just 1. Oh, maybe 7 fingers.
7 of the 10. Bolden. Noise swings cross court. Jimmy Bolden 3 of 7 from the field for the night. Doing a Gorjak-Gak, who we haven't seen a lot of, found a way to manufacture a bucket.
That's a great finish from Gak. Nice and patient. And we've got a timeout here from the Kings. And look at this, just well defended from Jonah Bolden there, and then patient enough to step through, and with the left, if you don't mind, Rowdy. 56 on the board.
There's still a minute remaining, a snooze timeout. This has been a fascinating first half of basketball. Gorjak-Gak scored that last bucket. It was a big signing for the Phoenix in the off-season, crossing from the Brisbane Bullets, but injury has riddled his season. This is only his 13th game, and Nerily Meadows caught up with him pre-game.
Obviously, things aren't going great at the Phoenix right now. Can you just give us an insight into the mood of the group behind the scenes?
I think the mood of the group has been the same all season, I think. All the guys are ready to go tonight. I know we're missing a couple players, but we just got to trust our work, what we've been doing in practice, and try to show it tonight.
Well, no Alan Williams. There's a great chance, touch wood, that he can get through the remainder of the season, Gorjak-Gak, but a great chance for him to play some meaningful minutes.
Yeah, he's a great talent. He's got lots of tools. He's long and athletic. He's got good touch inside. and be good for his confidence just to get some repeat games on. He's been performing well the last few games and building that confidence, but he adds a different dimension. And you know, going into the future, his health and his ability to change shots defensively and finish above the rim becomes more and more important for the Phoenix.
There's the quarter-by-quarter breakdowns on the bottom part of your screen. Sydney have won this second quarter. The Phoenix are finishing strong. All teams in action again this weekend. We mentioned earlier that Sydney will play host to Melbourne United on Sunday afternoon in front of a massive crowd at Kudos Bank Arena. The Phoenix will be back here hosting Perth on Saturday in front of another sellout. Gack at the top of the key. Saw a path to the basket.
Yeah,
It was a foul from Hunter.
Playing a little bit of confidence, make the hook shot before and feeling good. And this, I mean, it's unfortunate Geordie Hunter just do a whole lot wrong just to get his feet tangled up, and I'm Geordie Hunter, I'm a little bit more frustrated. That's out of his playbook. A little fake handoff and get downhill. It's a Jordan Hunter special.
Just his first foul of the night. Galloway comes out of the game. It's a big second half for Sydney. We mentioned the ladder and the way it sits at the moment. They are one of the powerhouse clubs here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. They won the last 2 championships. It almost seems inconceivable that they wouldn't be in the playoffs and the play-in action, but there's no certainty at this stage.
No, and tonight's game is still very much up in the air, and then Melbourne United to back up on the weekend. It's not an easy weekend, and you drop one, drop two, and you can easily fall out of the finals race.
Again, we keep saying it, but with how much talent they have, and we've seen those patches when they put it all together, and they look like a really, really tough basketball team. So the flip side of that is if they can just put it all together at the right time, the rest of the season becomes irrelevant. You make the play-in tournament, you're playing your best basketball, and no one really wants to play against you.
And I think, Pete, that's the challenging thing about Sydney this year, and the head-scratching thing about them is that there are times where they have looked as good as any team in the competition.
He's spot on, and again, another head-scratching with this game as it currently goes on. There's a good put back there from Geordie Hunter. What a lot of people envision trying to figure out the margin they'd win this game by. All of a sudden, it's just, hey, we need to win this game.
The final play of the opening half. Phoenix will sensationally lead this game. Foxwell down to 5. Rosendale from the corner. Caps off an incredible first half from the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. Given absolutely no chance heading into tonight's game. They lead 61-54 at halftime.
Just an unbelievable finish to the quarter from the Phoenix, and Sydney sent 2 to the ball, trying to get the ball out of Foxwell's hands, and leaves the open Luke Rosendale for 3 as he makes a tough one to end the half.
Looks like he got a flop on it too. Look how cleaned up there.
Let's get down to Nerily Meadows.
Mitch Creek, you are playing like a proud dad with the energy of a child. How much are you enjoying this game and your effort from the boys so far?
Yeah, look, we've got 3 imports out, 2 starters out, the best defender in the league's out. You know, we're not meant to win this game. We haven't been proud of our efforts the last 6 weeks. It's been really shit and piss poor, to be honest. Excuse that at home, but realistically, it's just us being real to ourselves, and we've got to have fight. We have fight right now, and we actually have effort, and it doesn't matter who we have or who we don't have. Like, I'm proud of what we got on the court and who we have fighting for us. Luke Rosendale, like, I'm proud right now, but this isn't good enough. 20 more minutes. Keep this. This is what we want to do.
And the dunk that brought the absolute house down.
I didn't know I could still do that. I'm going to have to go take some arthritis pills, I think.
Rest up. Thanks for the honesty. Mitch Creek, he is putting on a show.
7-point lead to the Phoenix at halftime. Stick around. Plenty more to come here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Half-time at the State Basketball Centre in Melbourne Southeast. It has been on all night long with the little guys. Ben Eyre and Jalen Adams have been getting into the thick of it from the moment the ball went up. But Mitch Creek has been the star of the show, has 25 points at half-time. And this Southeast Melbourne Phoenix team, with virtually no one to choose from tonight, sensationally lead over the Sydney Kings.
It's been an incredible first half, and their shooting percentages are off the charts. They're moving the ball well offensively. Sydney allowing them to get into the paint and create for others, and it's been an absolute surprise for us to see Southeast put up 61 points in the first half.
That's the biggest surprise, right? The 61 points is just way too many if you're a Sydney Kings fan and a team. But credit the Phoenix. I mean, we've kind of said it all day long. They're going to come out and kind of have that free swing mentality. Everyone's going to play with confidence. And we knew this, Rowdy. We knew they were going to be going a whole lot of Mitch Creek. They've got that very well. 25 points. He's 8 of 14 from the floor. And anything he touches right now is coming up trumps.
Yeah, he's just been efficient. 8 of 14 from the field the first half, getting into the lane. Once he gets into the lane and gets on the rim, that opens out the outside shot for him. And then he can use that pump fake and this vicious dunk. Unbelievable finish, but little things like that. Offensive rebounds that fall out to him, but then using the shot fake to get on the rim. Sydney have to do a better job of collapsing and stopping Mitch Creek.
He's playing like a man possessed tonight. Here's his first half numbers: 25 points, 8 of 14 from the field. And his Blackmore shot chart looks very, very nice. He's scoring from inside and out. That's the Phoenix perspective. From a Sydney point of view, got a lot of problems defensively. Offensively, no problems when Jalen Adams has ball in hand.
Yeah, he's got 16 points, and we keep talking about when he gets that deep into that position right there, his patience, you saw that little slow Euro, he just picks apart the defence, and this is why he won an MVP a couple of seasons ago, because he gets to there and everything opens up. The entire world is his oyster. He likes to just play around with the defence, and offensively, they've got 54 points on the board. That is more than enough for them to be leading any sort of game in the NBL at halftime, and yet they find themselves down 7. Phoenix shooting 54% from the field and 50% from 3. Defensively, just nowhere near good enough.
This game right now is a big story, but one of the biggest stories this week here in the Hungry Jacks NBL has been Fleur McIntyre, assistant coach of the Sydney Kings. She's going to join the Phoenix Mercury as their assistant general manager. It is an incredible career opportunity, and pre-game we caught up with her via Nerily Meadows.
Thanks so much for your time and congratulations.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
The trailblazing continues. Tell us more about this new opportunity.
Yeah, it was sort of something that came up last year at Summer League in Vegas. I had a coffee with the GM of the Phoenix Mercury, and he was formerly with the Golden State Warriors in the NBA. We just caught up for a coffee. It was Chase Buford, our former coach, that put my name forward, and it kind of just went from there. I got a phone call about whether I'd be interested in coming to work for the organisation, asked the Kings permission. They were amazing about it, and then, yeah, I've ended up accepting the role as assistant GM. So they already have another assistant GM, so I'll be taking on the secondary role underneath Nick, the general manager.
That must be pretty cool that Chase had you back.
Yeah, it is. And I think, you know, I owe a lot of my experience and opportunities to Chase and Mahmood. Like, when you've got people that are advocating for you, being your cheerleader a little bit and putting your name for it, it's really wonderful that they think highly enough of me and they think I'm capable of doing these jobs.
Your whole face lights up. How much does it mean to you?
It means a lot. I'm really emotional about it. I cried my eyes out when I told the guys about 5 weeks ago. I think they all thought something horrendous had happened because I couldn't stop crying. So I feel really emotional about it. I'm scared, a little nervous, if I'm honest. And I think more so when you love the job that you're currently in. I love this organisation. I love the guys that I get to be around every day. So it's a really hard one for me, but also I'm really excited for the opportunity and for a new challenge.
The big question, do you get to see out the season here first?
I do. Phoenix have actually been amazing. One of the first things I sort of stipulated when I went through the interview process was that my loyalty is here. And I think probably one of the things that I think is one of my strengths is I'm loyal to the end. And there was no way I was going to pack up and leave in the middle of the season with the Sydney Kings. So they've been wonderful about me staying out the season. And, you know, my focus here, I said to Mahmood the other day, it feels weird because it doesn't feel real yet because I'm so focused on us winning games. Like, we're in a fight for our life right now and trying to grab a playoff spot. So that's sort of my present focus anyway.
We really appreciate your time and we're really proud of you too.
Thanks,
well done.
Nerily. I appreciate it.
Isn't she just the best? Fleur McIntyre chatting to Nerily Meadows. Go get him, Fleur. We're all behind you.
Yeah, can't wait to see. I think this is just the beginning. Give it a couple more years, she's going to keep climbing up, and the world is officially her oyster. She's an unbelievable person.
This second half is going to be fascinating. The Southeast Melbourne Phoenix leads 61-54. Their big challenge is to stick with us for the back end of this game. This is Thursday Night Hoops, part of our doubleheader here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Third quarter not too far away. It's the Phoenix who lead 61-54 over the Sydney Kings. As soon as we finish up here, we take you straight to RAC Arena. It's Fan Appreciation and Members Appreciation Night. And the Red Army deserve a lot of love because they've been a big part in the Wildcats' resurgence. They play host to the Illawarra Hawks.
Yeah, fantastic game, fantastic matchup of the most informed team in the competition, Perth Wildcats and Illawarra, who are desperate for some wins this weekend.
I'd love to be a fly on the wall in this locker room at halftime for the Sydney Kings, because normally when you have a performance in the first 20 minutes, this is not the way any of us expected the scoreline to be. Before the coach comes in, there's players normally who are going to be really rocketing up everybody else. But you look down this roster, and I think this has been a bit of the issue all year long. Jalen Adams is notoriously quiet. He just goes about his business. DJ Hogue is a quiet personality. Denzel Valentine, Geordie Hunter is not a type who's going to come in and maybe just rocket everybody and tell them this is not good enough. You keep going down, and Sean Bruce is their leader. Sean Bruce is the one who you'd think is going to have to say things, and he has been doing it a lot this season, having spoke to a few of the players. But besides that, Alex Tui's a rookie, Jalen Galloway's quiet. There's just a lot of quiet personalities, and it's going to be interesting to see how they respond.
So what does that look like? Take us inside those change rooms at halftime, maybe even before the coach gets into the rooms. What are the players saying to each other?
I would envision that in a game like this, when this is not how anybody expected the first 20 minutes to look, that it's Sean Bruce who would have been the first one to say, hey, this is not good enough. And it's a lot of expletives, I'm sure, Jack, and just saying we have to be a whole lot better. But again, I'm trying to look around Jalen Adams, that people pipe up and say a couple of things. But Brady, you can talk about teams that you've been on. There's just certain guys who you know, and I'm speaking from experience, but when things weren't going well back in 2018, it was CG, it was Dave Barlow. Before you even sit down, they already said anything. By the time Dean Vickerman came to sit down, everything's been said. Yeah. You can basically ready to go out there.
Yeah, and especially if it's some of your stars of the team. Mitch Creek is one for the Phoenix that will give you a rocket if need be, or give the team a rocket to get them going. But especially when it's come from the stars, if they're the ones controlling the emotion, if they're the ones pushing and keeping everyone held to a standard, it makes it a lot easier for everyone else to pipe in. But if it's quiet guys or guys who play lesser roles trying to get the stars to get up and about, it doesn't have the same impact.
Valentine, we haven't seen a lot of. Got 3 fouls early in the first half. Made a pretty good start, but was sitting on the bench for most of it as Creek picks up from where he left off in the first half.
I would have been inclined to call a timeout. Crazy thing, but 32 seconds, we have a turnover. They've already scored twice, but then you get down the other end and throw a lob to Geordie Hunter.
That's why we're up here.
But again, it's just too easy. Defensively, you've got to be the issue. And again, there's nothing wrong with having quiet personalities and quiet players and players who like to lead from example. Like, I mean, Jalen Adams, we've seen, he's one of the best players in this league. It's just about trying to find that mix of other guys having to be leaders.
And sometimes it takes a quiet player, a player that has respect to the team or the club, but is on more of a quiet personality, to come out. And as we get the timeout, coach's challenge from the Sydney Kings. But sometimes those quiet players, when they speak up, when they show a bit of fight, a bit of grunt, it holds a lot of weight, because it's like, okay, this is for serious now. He's had to give us a rocket.
He's moving. He can't. It's illegal.
So challenging the out of bounds, not challenging anything to do with the moving screen. But Mike Wood's saying that there's a moving screen that needs to be looked at. So here's what the coach's challenge was. An out of bounds call. It looks like it's going back to the Phoenix, and that's come directly off Gorjog.
Coach's challenge is successful. The call on the floor will be overturned. Sydney ball.
Very easy, very quick coach's challenge. That's why it's there, because you could see from where the referee was, just a couple of players in front. You thought that might have come off the deflection from the Sydney Kings, but Rowdy, they don't get a lot easier than this.
That's why we have the challenge, just to make sure that the right call is found at the end. But lots of hands in there, lots of bodies between players and referees. But they got it right, and lucky for Sydney that Jack got a hand on that, because Mitch Creek was wide open in the wing, was about to knock in another three-pointer, but not the best start for the Kings to start this third quarter. They've got to start taking care of the ball a little bit better. They got the lob dunk on the last play, but continue to use Jalen Adams to attack out of pick and roll and make Phoenix have to make adjustments defensively.
The third quarter's are Phoenix best of the season. They've won 15, lost 6 and drawn 2. Third quarters are Sydney's worst. They've won 9 for the season, lost 12 and drawn a couple. is all up for grabs right now. It's in the bottom part there. Third quarters have been kind of the Phoenix of late. Good hands by Creek. To the other end. Can't score that time. Sydney looked to explore quickly. We haven't seen a lot of Alex Toohey. That's a nice take.
I won't get credit for anything there, but Geordie Hunter basically shepherding the defence into each other, allow Toohey to get behind him. And Gorjok Gak couldn't come across to try and pin that against the backboard. But that's, again, as we said, their offence has been ticking it over, but this end, and yes, okay, that's a tough contested shot from Ben Eyre, but he's been feeling good since the first quarter, Rowdy.
Yeah, you let him make the first one. He's going to grow with confidence. He's not one to shy away from competition or an open or a contested jump shot either.
A double-figure lead for the Phoenix. Gak for three.
Why not?
Everything else has gone down. 13-point lead for South East Melbourne. Game-high margin right now.
Oh, here's the Harvey Norman replay. Here's the one from Ben Eyre. Ben Eyre's a confidence player. You've got him feeling good. And to be honest, Denzel Valentine said it was good defense, but his hands were down initially. And then Gorjok Gak, well, you can understand why you're closing out short, but also you're trying to set a tone because the Phoenix are up and about.
71-58. We're about to jump into the South East Melbourne Phoenix huddle with Mike Kelly.
Hey, can I get another fucking wallop like Ben Eyre? Great job. Great job. Get back. See the ball? Defensively stay. Hustle 5. To goes. To goes. Don't let Jalen get down on his right. All right, stay in it. Offensively right here. Give me a horns flare. Give me a horns flare. You're here. Gorjok, Creaky, Cody and Rubes. We're hitting Creaky. You step out and get that catch. Flare this, Gorjok. If you have it for a 3, good. If not, you got a 2-man game. Here we go. Keep going.
What a story this is right now.
We love the energy and enthusiasm and making a point of the defensive end, the wall up from Ben Eyre to force a missed shot, to let them get out and transition again. I'd love to see the comparison between that Phoenix timeout and the Sydney timeout and just the board-inness, how energetic, how locked in they were.
(71-58). The Kings have got to start to get going. Good aggression by Galloway.
He's got me out of control. Have you got a pass on that? Yep, no worries. Like 6, pushy foul on the pass.
Well, I'm saying it's on the pass. I actually think Jalen Galloway realised he got hit and was trying to just throw it up at the rim. I think he should be shooting free throws here. He's one of the best athletes we have in the NBL. Probably a bit hard done by.
Valentine by Tarangi, who's doing a good job to stay in front. Likewise, Creek, who took it away from Toohey. One end to the other, Toohey wins it back at the other end and knocks it out of bounds with a block.
That's a nice recovery from Toohey, but defensively, Phoenix looked locked in. As we get to the replay and
cop on right to the lead from
right on the mush
from Jalen Adams. Toohey was all clean.
Ben Eyre, what a spark he's been. 13 points. And back down to Creek. The pass was deflected. Better deep from the Kings.
By far been their best defensive possession. And leads them off. They blew that. But Geordie Hunter was loading up, ready for that baseline drop step from Mitch Creek. Ended up getting the turnover. This is a 15-point lead to the Phoenix. That's just Ben Eyre just getting downhill. Around the charge circle.
And Hunter was out of control. Statman and then Gak got hands in the way. Tarangi can't lay it up.
And Phoenix have been really good tonight with their hands, getting their hands on the drives, causing deflection, causing turnovers, causing Sydney to bobble the ball as and get out and transition themselves. And that's just a quick shot.
Yeah, that's not the shot right now when they're trying to peg this back from Jalen Galloway. But the Kings have had 4 turnovers already, and that's going to be an and one. Again, so you have a poor shot down the other end, and you don't get back and say, okay, we need to really lock up. Jordy Hunt gets beat on the back door, and one opportunity here for Statman. So the 4 turnovers I was highlighting from Sydney, and this is right. This is what separates those teams. Melbourne, Perth, Tassie, who are up the top. Even Brisbane, who have been very good defensively, is okay. If we have a poor shot or we have a couple of bad offensive sets, they trust themselves to step up on the defensive end and get a stop when it matters most.
Yeah, it was just a lack of concentration, and then that's all it takes is that split second where they switch off. The Phoenix has just been punishing everything, every little mistake.
15 points to 4 in the third quarter. The Phoenix are playing with no fear. That'll be a block. Nice take from Glover. And not to take anything away from Southeast Melbourne for a second, because they've been superb and they deserve this lead. But if it wasn't already, this is now very serious for Sydney in terms of their season. What's going on tonight?
It is. It's a worrying sign. It's becoming a bigger lead to peg back against a confident team that's energised by their defensive end at the moment. That was a great take by Angus Glover, but I just don't see it, and they've got to run home. There's some winnable games there, but I'm telling you, Melbourne United on the weekend.
And they got it. Melbourne United, when they play Brisbane and then Adelaide, who, by the way,
Adelaide away too.
Just reliably told, DJ Vasiljevic, that pen is to paper. He signed a 3-year deal with the Adelaide 36ers. So he's going to be feeling good about himself to have a contract and some security.
Rosendale, what a pass for Statman.
That an in-game bomb I just dropped.
A peep bomb? A hooly-dooly?
I just heard a couple of whispers and reliably confirmed.
How's that? How's that play by Luke Rosedale? The confidence he's playing with.
Glover has that rattle out.
And now, Jack, this is what we mentioned as we were recording NBL Now this morning, that if you let this team and that youngsters come in and understand they've got to play through mistakes and they feel confident and feel good about themselves early, I said they can make a game, but it's more than that. They are absolutely dominating. 78 points on the board. That's going to... from Chris Reed. 78 points on the board with 5 minutes to go in the third.
Keep 5. Push him into the screener. Yeah, push it. Yeah, side ball.
Here's another look at it.
I think they've called that on Glover. I think they're saying he shoved Vague as he was trying to get by and cause a contact. So everything going Phoenix's way at the moment.
Where is this spark going to come from Sydney? Where is this fight going to come from?
I think they've got to get Jalen Adams back into the game. He's the one. He's been the spark as Statman playing with confidence.
Jonah Bolden with the aggressive rebound. And this is a little better from Sydney. Some intent. Malawatch left that short.
But on the
floor, and the Phoenix come up with it.
Way.
Statman.
Oh, flat tire. That thing burst. He hasn't hurt himself, has he?
Well, that's what I was a bit worried about. And
drove straight over a nail.
Yeah, that is one of the worst flat tires I've seen from the youngster. He'd want that one back. He's played very good. Got 8 points. And then I just wouldn't want to see this one again. Just when you think, okay, take it out of neutral. Let's get into first gear. And it's a quick stop off and pump the tyres up. Hopefully he's all right.
Yeah, I think he's going to check the physio. Hopefully he hasn't done anything, but he's with the physio and the doctor from the Phoenix, and it didn't seem like too much, but that was an incredible flat tyre.
Let's get over to Nerily Meadows, courtside.
Just standing right behind Glover at the moment, who has come to the bench and slammed his chair down in disgust at where this game is out. But kudos to the fans who have packed this arena. We all thought that maybe they were coming to watch Phoenix lose and potentially lose badly today. Not the case. Their team is up by 17 points and the atmosphere has been utterly electric. It really was huge when Mitch Creek nailed that dunk in the second quarter, and it has only grown in energy from that point forward. They They turned up to watch their team play, potentially lose. Well, they might be seeing one of the greatest upsets we've ever seen in the NBL.
Yeah, this has been an incredible performance so far.
I'm going to touch on Phoenix's defense again. They're up and in right now. That last possession, they're having bodies fly everywhere. They keep in front of the ball, forcing a 360 reverse layup. They're just playing with great fight and great belief in themselves right now, and it's all on the defensive end, keeping Sydney's talented roster, as that is an impressive block, but keeping Sydney, a talented offensive team, to single figures here in the third quarter so far.
They just look deflated. And you watch, anytime there's a turnover or they go down the other end, just watch how long it takes the pink jerseys to get back, right? How desperate are they?
I thought he was sitting in the crowd for a second.
Angus Glover.
He's that in disgust. He broke his chair and he's in the fans.
Andrew Bogut nestled in there somewhere.
But your arm can't come
Bit of a doppelganger. For a little bit at the start.
I think one is enough, isn't it? one big personality like Bogues. A penny for his thoughts right now, though.
That's going to be a foul on Jalen Adams, I think. Sean Bruce isn't happy. I think he thinks it's on him, but Jalen Adams just holding Mitch Creek off the ball. So again, I mentioned off the top, right? And when you've got a lot of team full of quiet personalities and quiet personas, it's who's the one who takes over right now and does something. And to be honest, the way this game's going, who's going to be that player who, my mind instantly goes to the Perth Wildcats. And okay, if they need something, is it Jesse Wagstaff going in there just to put somebody on the floor? Back in a few years ago, someone like Greg Hyde just dominating on the offensive glass, those 1%ers to just bring everybody in for the ride. And who's going to make those, not dirty plays, but just show that this isn't good enough? Sean Bruce, you think, is probably the one.
What they give for someone like a Justin Simon right now, Rowdy, just someone who can get their hands dirty and, as Pete said,
yeah, just set the tone defensively. This is it. This is a line in the sand. No more of this lackluster defensive effort of another miscommunication, open three, dodge the ball with Rosendale missing that three, but there's been a lot of that tonight. It's going to be
an offensive foul.
Oh, caught a blocking foul there. Oh. Luke Rosendale, in the end, I think, Luke Rosendale, he got there in time. I think he just, there you go, you can see him just leaning to the left ever so slightly, and I'm wondering whether big fella running full speed at you, the second guess getting in front.
Played some good minutes, Luke Rosendale, as he sits down. 8 points in 7 minutes. Got a beautiful shooting stroke. There's Abdel Nader, who we have not seen tonight. Emily Meadows was all over it pre-game. He was suited up with a hand injury, but hasn't been called upon yet.
He hasn't been needed so far. The Phoenix have been playing fantastically. I know we're harping on Sydney to some extent, but Phoenix's effort should not be underestimated.
Foxwell through the contact. Just continues to find ways to make tough buckets.
It is tough, but look where he gets to, right? He gets to the middle of the key, down to, and another turnover, the 5th one in this third quarter. So how many times have they had this where they either turn it over and then the Phoenix score and they go back-to-back those compounding errors, or vice versa there?
Yeah, and that last defensive play, there was just a miscommunication by Sydney with that switching, and then it leads to a closeout. And Foxwell, he's left-handed. He's going to go to his left.
He swings to Tarangi.
That's probably going to win. Ruben Tarangi in the corner 3 ball. That's where he likes it. He steps out of bounds and had all the time and space in the world. But these are valuable minutes right now for the Phoenix, with Mitch Creek getting a very quick breather.
Nerily Meadows courtside.
Just on that, when he goes off, he's not sitting down, boys. He is up on his feet, cheering on every single moment, getting the towel, waving it around. He's playing immense minutes and doing so much work, even off the ball, setting screens every single second he's there. Boys, what have you made of his performance? Not just the way that he's scored, but the way that he's been there for his younger teammates.
Well, he's the heart and soul of this team and has been since his inception. He is the lifeblood that is Phoenix. They go as he go, and his confidence and him supporting his teammates breeds confidence into them. When they make a shot, if he's cheering, they feel more confident to continue to play at that level.
Long rebound falls back out to him. He's got it on a string tonight.
I'm just surprised by the lack of effort to get that rebound from Sydney and how easy it just fell to Mitch Creek, top of the key.
And again, you talk about, so Mitch Creek would have every right with all these key players out to take 30-plus shots, right? And say, okay, I've got to try and do everything I can. But he has no worries in facilitating. He's got the 27 points. He's taken 18 shots. But if they send double teams, he's been passing out of them. He's been kicking into guys in transition. He is trusting whoever is on the floor in a Phoenix jersey. And right now, that trust, if you are a guy like Luke Rosendale, if you're a guy like Cody Statman coming in, and your franchise player trusts you to kick at the ball when you're open, that gives you the confidence to go in there and knock it down.
And he'd be one guy that continues to motivate them as well.
Well, thanks to Reebok, who are, of course, the official footwear partner of the NBL. We've got ours on tonight. This is your chance to sit in the Pump by Reebok seats at John Cain Arena on February the 18th. Flights and a comma included, plus you'll get two $500 gift cards, courtesy of Reebok. You can enter now. Well, a lot of people asking about that competition.
Yeah, I might get out of state just to get the flights and the Reebok. So get your phones out and scan that QR code.
You get the Reebok kicks, they are the best. 82-66. You tick down to a minute before three-quarter time.
So even though there's a foul on that defensive play, you see the change in defensive adjustments. We got some stars. Monique Hunty.
AFLW superstar, WNBL superstar with the Melbourne Boomers, a dual sport superstar.
Very rare. Very, very rare. He's an elite company.
It's back to 15. Adams will make it 20 points for his night. He's going to need some others to come with him. Galloway gets off to the scorer's table, not far from checking back in. Foxwell, guarded by Noy, has the green light. Not time though.
That's better. That's better defensive effort. Keeping him out of the paint, forcing a tough floater from well above the free throw line.
And now you go down here and you just get a good offensive set, and you kind of put together some positive clips. That's a good look from Valentine. Good hustle there from Geordie Hunter. So that's okay, right? That's a good look at kick out three. And he's going to trust and put another strong possession of defense together before the end of this third quarter.
Air steps back. Now jumps in and out.
A 2-for-1 opportunity here if they wanted the Kings.
And Adams lost the handle and turns it over. It's their 13th of the night.
6 of those here in the third quarter. Here from Jalen Adams. I thought he just wanted to go probably a little bit quicker than he did, because they did have a 2-for-1, and I expected maybe a little step back or something. Sometimes the problem is with a 2-for-1, though, you end up taking a poor shot in the initial possession.
Adams comes out. Rosetto, Tarangi, Air, Foxwell, and Creek on the floor for the Phoenix. Hunter, Glover, Galloway, Malawatch, and Valentine for the Kings. This is a very real situation for Sydney right now. The two-time defending champions are trailing by 14 points as we head to three-quarter time. Back out to Creek. Shot clock at 5. Malawatch with the rebound for Sydney. He's got time to work with as well. Not a lot of urgency here for the Kings. A good look for Valentine. That'll fall short. The Phoenix lead at three-quarter time. They have not relented at any stage tonight. Have they got enough juice left in the tank to see it through. 82-68 at three-quarter time. This is Thursday Night Hoops in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Well, three-quarter time at the State Basketball Centre, and it's the undermanned South East Melbourne Phoenix who lead 82-68 over the Sydney Kings. They won that third quarter 21-14. They are playing with a whole lot of confidence right now.
That's all it is. It's confidence and defensively being locked in and getting stops. And it's a big task for Sydney to come back to in this fourth quarter, but they've got the offensive firepower to do it. Can the Phoenix hold on?
Glover from deep. That's the ideal start.
Well, it is. That was a tough shot. First shot to start the fourth quarter. Angus Glover, we know, is fired up in the third quarter, but that is a perfect start.
1 of 6 last Sunday. Good for his confidence. He's 1 of 4 tonight from deep.
And if you're the Phoenix, you just want to keep playing loose and free run, not get too tense. So here's that very first shot. Angus Glover, he's been doing that all season long, just quietly. That's a deep three. Just don't tense up, because all of a sudden you're well in a position to win this game.
Air for 3. Got it!
All night they've had the answer. That is a huge shot, but he's playing with confidence in the green light tonight. But that's 2 or 3 that he's sized up the defender at the top of the key, put a little move on, created some space, and been able to knock down the tough 3.
Nerily Meadows, you were listening to the Phoenix at three-quarter time.
You get the sense that this is a culture-defining moment for South East Melbourne Phoenix. The way that the entire squad, not just the team playing tonight, got around that last three-quarter time address. Ben Ayre led the way. He said, bring it tight, keep the pace up, hustle hard. Creek said it's all about discipline. It's all about defense from here. With Mike Kelly, he was just trying to keep as calm as possible. The injured players as well also getting involved. Source providing water, playing water boy out there. He said, we win on defense, and then turned to me and said, don't be giving our secrets away, okay?
I don't think there's a lot of secrets to their performance tonight, is it? The Phoenix, it's just effort.
It's just effort. It's just desire. It's just what's been missing.
Ayre lost the handle. Kings might have got a hand on it.
So speaking of effort, have a look at this from Cody Statman, right? So he understands that there's a mismatch here. Valentine on the big fellow. He just says, I'm running at you. I don't want you to beat this mismatch. And they let Jalen Galloway, Ben Ayre stunts and says, okay, you're out of everyone on the floor. You're probably the weakest shooter. We want you to take that shot. And they come up with a stop. that from Cody Statman, and we've been saying it, Ratty, from the start. They're not doing that when the ball goes to Mitch Creek on a mismatch. There's certain possessions, so that's just a really good job and awareness from Statman, who we've barely seen this season.
Galloway, this time on the one-on-one matchup with Statman. He's the defer to Valentine. That's money.
Big time.
Kings have started well in this fourth quarter. Denzel Valentine knocks down the three, and all of a sudden a bit of positive body language from the Kings. It's 85-77 at the State Basketball Centre. Big bucket, that last one.
That's back-to-back. Just some better ball movement, get some attack on the rim, and finding is, kind of worried that they were just going to try and shoot threes to get themselves back in, but they've been able to make a few.
Sydney trailed by 9 at quarter time, 7 at half time, and 14 points heading into this final term. We're only 2 minutes in. It's much better. So much on the line tonight for Sydney as far as their season calculations go. $85-77 at the State Basketball Centre, the first of 2 games on our Thursday night doubleheader. Denzel Valentine, back-to-back threes to start the fourth quarter.
Yeah, great start from Sydney. Been able to knock down some threes, arrest the momentum back in their favour, and now some full court pressure. It's up to the Phoenix now not to tighten up, to continue to play loose and aggressive like they have been for the first 3 quarters.
Don't forget, up next, it's the Wildcats taking on the Illawarra Hawks at RAC Arena. Creek rolls to the basket, denied by Hunter.
Great block from Geordie Hunter. That's what he's elite at. And unfortunately, just call for the foul. He doesn't like it. Weak side rim protection from Geordie Hunter, and then Gack got the rebound. And Mitch Creek definitely sold it, but anytime you come across the shoulder, you put yourself in that position for an easy call.
Statman takes it back out to Ben Air. He's fouled.
It's going to be an offensive foul.
An offensive foul?
Yeah, that's what Chris Reed's signaling.
Like 10 offensive foul. You moved into it.
So Chris Reed saying you moved into him. It's going to be... It's going to be 4 on Ben Air.
That's how I shoot.
No, not by moving
That's
like
how
that.
I shoot. How you going to tell me how I shoot?
Stop.
How you going to tell me how I shoot?
That's the answer.
I know, but how you going to tell me how I shoot?
One out. The whole time. I'm on the baseline. You just waved him in time.
Well, I'm hoping this hasn't been a challenge here from Mike Kelly.
I think it might be.
Because we just saw that baseline angle and it was brilliant. It showed exactly what the referees were talking about. So this isn't, well, everyone likes to talk about shooters taking up their landing space, jumping forward, any of that. We saw that baseline angle. Here's a coach's challenge, and there's 4 fouls on Ben Air.
Takes a step to his right.
Coach's challenge is unsuccessful. The call on the floor stands. We have pink ball for the restart.
And to be honest, Geordie Hunter does a phenomenal job to get out of the way, but I actually think if he stays still, Ben Air, he might just get briefly clipped enough as well to go down.
Here it is in real time.
And I'll tell you what, the baseline referee said as well, he saw it clearly, you just fell to your right. I understand why you're going with the coach's challenge. It's 4 fouls on Ben Air, and he's been terrific. But
that's a great pickup by the referees to see that in real time, because when I first saw it, I was like, okay, that's a foul. He's going to get 3 shots, but fantastic job there.
4 fouls for Ben Air, 4 fouls for Cody Statman for the Phoenix. Angus Glover, he's 4 for the Kings. 85-77. Phoenix have led for most of the night. Glover, wide open look. It doesn't go down. The Kings 8 of 24 from long range tonight. Creek upstairs for Gack. Play was incomplete. Valentine.
I think Geordie Honey just stole his points.
Oh, that looked like it was going in.
There's some more of that double teaming that you were talking about, Who's just reading the play and trying to make.
It's just smart defense, right?
Yeah,
It's kind of junking it up and just something different. Just Sydney aren't expecting it. Was that going in?
I don't know. We kind of got a little look at a different angle of it, and the ball may have been coming off the rim, but in real time, I was very, very confused. Let's say.
Oh yeah, it was coming off. I think all Sydney Kings fans were just thinking, what are you doing?
We'll take them any way we can get them right now.
In hindsight, just roll the wrist over there. Just do a tip dunk.
Spent a bit of time above the rim, did you?
Oh, well, back in the day. But if you've got enough time to slap it off, right, just roll the wrist over and just put a lid on it.
29 for Creek. Back to the basket. Big rebound by Statman and the putback.
He's been fantastic tonight. Energy plays, being in the right spot at the right time, knocking down open shots. He's been really, really impressive.
Galloway at the other end showing his athleticism.
Yeah, that's where he's at his best, getting full head of steam. But if you're a Sydney Kings team desperate right now, how does Cody Statman get that offensive rebound? All the credit for him for hustling. That's the confidence he's playing with.
That's what they're looking for, that desperation, that hustle, Sydney.
Oh,
Statman
boy.
for three.
And that's what happens. Okay, he gets an offensive rebound because he out-hustled. And then he knocks down a three ball, nearly comes up with the steal. It's the Cody Statman game.
And look at the bench. They're up and about. They're cheering. They're having fun. They're enjoying it. We haven't seen this from the Phoenix recently as we head back to replay. Foxwell's ability to draw two defenders and find Statman, who's loaded up.
Spent a season with the Brisbane Bullets. Has a great relationship with Sam McKinnon. That's why he's landed with the Phoenix this season. He's playing a massive role for them tonight.
We'll think it before the game. Who's going to step up? It has been a collective effort, but Statman has been very good.
13 points, 5 rebounds.
$11-point advantage to the Phoenix. Creek has been a little cold since half-time. Picks up a foul there.
Yeah, and that's a good call. Mitch Creek just repeated on that offensive rebound attempt.
Only 4 points since half-time for Mitch Creek.
They're up 11. Everybody else is getting involved because of the way they began the game. It was so important for Sydney not to let a young team who's missing so many players get confidence, and then give all the credit in the world for South East Melbourne, the way that they have performed since then.
Two more for Galloway with one to come. That looks like one of their best modes of offense right now, is getting Galloway downhill.
Yeah, he's too tough to stay in front of, and he can use his size and athleticism to finish over the smaller defender. And Foxwell, who's a credible defender, but his ability to get downhill, get ahead of steam, just a little reach in there to draw the M1.
Extra to come. Global eyes on this young man, Jalen Galloway, 20 years of age. Comes from great basketball pedigree. And we've had scouts coming to NBA games all season long, and they've been saying a lot of positive things about him.
He's got all the tools. Got all the tools. His outside shot's probably the one thing that can continue to improve, and improve pretty rapidly, but he's got everything NBA teams are looking for. Size, athleticism, ability to defend, play in space.
So just a bit...
Before Valentine could keep it in.
A bit hot on that pass from Owen Foxwell, but again, where does he get to? And what hand did he use, Rowdy?
I think he's...
he gets right into the heart of the key.
He goes left into the heart of the key.
He's going left. This is not new. Everyone knows Owen Foxwell was going to go to the left, but Yes, he's quick, but just the fact that he's continued to live in that area, that's probably going to go in for Cody Staton. Why not? What a call. Give the young fella confidence and he'll take it and run with it. You've got someone, this is what you talk about, the whole confidence, but he's playing for a whole lot more than just this game. He's showing the rest of the NBL that, hey, I belong back in the NBL. We've seen him previously.
93-84. Almost 4 minutes remaining.
Let it fly. Oh.
The crossover had his pocket picked by Adams. And it takes it to the other end and scores, and we've got a 7-point game.
Big stop there. Jalen Adams. And Sydney, for as poor as they've played, they are right in this. They've only got to worry about 4 minutes, and a win is a win. That's another defensive stop.
Shot clock at 7. They defer to Creek. Off the window. Big bucket at a big time.
It's great patience. Shot clock right down, but they need to get some stops now, the Phoenix.
Kawhi from long range. Got it. Sydney is starting to throw right hands.
The game's just opened up. It's just trading buckets at the moment.
Speed up the Phoenix here. I don't think they're just necessarily trying to get the ball out of Ben Ayres' hands. Right now it looks like it's almost essentially a box and one with Sean Bruce on Mitch Creek, and then double teaming as Mike Wood was open, to be fair. But it worked, right?
It did.
It's something different. Junk it up. Just show an intent to be energetic on the defensive end.
They've got a timeout left, the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. Rowdy, would you be tempted just to try and slow things down a bit here?
If they give up an easy bucket on this one, I think it's a timeout. Oh, travel. But with one left, 3 minutes to go, a close game. Try and hold on to that for a key point, trying to stop a bigger run, but they're able to get a stop now. Now they need to execute an offensive end, find something easy, go back to Creaky in the post.
We're going right the way to the end. It'll be a delayed tip in Perth for the Wildcats and Hawks game. This has got very, very tense all of a sudden. Phoenix by 6, but they've watched their double-figure lead dwindle away.
Send a double. There we go. Jalen Galloway, just get the ball out of his hands. The Phoenix just can't stand still.
Oh, my.
Never mind.
Oh, my.
And again, you probably live with that because that's just a deep 3-ball after not a heap good-looking offensive set.
That's a deep. Look at the rotations over from Phoenix. We're good for 3/4 of that defensive possession.
But they're just coming up big when it matters most because they're feeling good. And defensively, they have not managed to get any stops. They're kicking the scoreboard over.
Neither team has been able to get much going defensively, but those are some big shots that the Phoenix are making.
Go back to the well. We're going to double team and run this kind of junky offense, then that's exactly how you got to play. You don't want to be too passive. As soon as they send a double team up near half court and you get a couple of passes, attack. Yes, I know it's early in the shot clock. You're trying to get the possessions out of this game, but you can attack and get downhill and punish this kind of junk defense.
Yeah, Phoenix have to keep playing. They're playing to win, not to hold on to the lead, not to conserve the lead. They've still got to score points because Sydney are going to come down. They're going to put pressure on the rim. They're going to hit some threes. So keep scoring. Keep
and they're doing it quickly too, aren't they?
Yeah.
Sydney, they're doing it very quick. They're scoring at will.
1 of 2 for Tarangi.
Even that there, so Will was telling the players that exactly what they were going to do on that offensive rebound. If that ball comes to the right, Mitch Creek is going to lap that up.
22 points for Jalen Adams, Sydney's leading scorer. Now is time for their man to get going. To settle in the mid-range, that jumps out.
Yeah, Sean Bruce fell over, so they're going to wipe the floor here. Get a stop. Him like Kelly barking instructions saying to take your time. He's also thinking the same thing we were just talking about, Rowdy. Attack the junk defense if it's there.
Reminder of the no ball tour. Scan the QR code now. Scotty Pippen, Luke Longley, Horace Grant will be in town in Sydney, Melbourne and Hobart very soon. A once in a lifetime experience. This has been some sort of experience tonight.
And you can tell Horace Grant after the show where you were when you saw the Phoenix up 8 at the State Basketball Centre against the Kings.
They're not there yet, the Phoenix, but they're mighty close. Over and back.
Oh, wow. Mike Kelly's already used his challenge, but that looked like it came off a Sydney Kings player for sure.
It looked like a lot of contact on there and hands in there.
That's the last thing, and again, that's what you can't do. So yes, take your time against this trap, but don't just... There's the contact there. So you kind of think, if it's not a foul, then it's come off Malawak, right? It's one or the other. It didn't go their way. Foxwell not happy. You've got to put it behind you now.
Mike Kelly still screaming that there was a foul on that play. High emotion at the State Basketball Centre. Valentine, got it!
Wow.
Denzel Valentine goes large.
He's come alive here in the second half offensively. Valentine, he's hit 3 threes, 13 points, none bigger than that.
5-point game. Snooze, timeout with 1:14 remaining. And a reminder, as soon as we finish up here, we take you to RAC Arena. Kelsey Brown and Damian Martin on the spot.
Well, we're in for a treat tonight as the Wildcats welcome back their big man, Alex Sarr. It's his first game back since December 28th. He's been out with that hip injury. He's a predicted #1 draft pick, Damian Martin. How great is it to have him back?
It's fantastic news. There was a little bit of speculation that all of a sudden on the projection draft boards we're seeing go #1. Then he sits out with some hip injuries. We're like, is he going to be out there again for the Wildcats? He will be, and he'll be a big reason the Wildcats will win tonight if they go on to get the 2 points. He helps his team significantly. He stretches the floor. He makes Bryce Cotton a better player, and then he'll get after some block shots at the other end and make it hard for players like Harvey. Big pickup, big return of Alex Sarr.
Well, it's a must-win game for the Illawarra Hawks. We're back here at RAC next.
Can't wait for that one. Thank you, Kels, and thank you, Damo. 5-point game, 1:14 remaining. Who's momentum with right now?
I couldn't tell you. No, I couldn't tell you. This game is in the balance. 1:15 left. As we look at the 3 from Denzel Valentine. He's hit 3 of those here. Drag Sydney back.
That's a massive 3. He's hit some big ones. Still need to get some stops, the Kings. Just kind of double teaming whenever they get over the half-court line has worked out really well the last couple of minutes. They also got to be prepared now that Mike Kelly would have drawn something up.
26 points to 17 in the fourth quarter. The Kings are finishing strong, but have they left their run a little too late? Almost a turnover. Phoenix still trapped at the halfway line. And just beyond that, Foxwell trying to dribble through. They get a foul with 5 seconds left on the shot clock.
Great for the Phoenix, using up the old shot clock. Now they go to the free throw line. Chance for an easy 2.
And I'm not sure about, I think once it gets under 10 seconds, you don't need to double team anymore, right? You've already sped them up, you've got them out of it. You just play solid. They're already backed up to the half-court line, and just get down in your stance and just play one-on-one. And see there that everyone was trying to scramble, and in the end, they fouled Foxwell, go to the line for 2 of the biggest free throws in his career.
54% from the line this season.
You've done it to him.
Misses the first. The tension builds at a sold-out State Basketball Centre.
No timeouts left for the Phoenix either. Knocks that one down. 2 timeouts left for Sydney. Phoenix just need a couple good defensive possessions.
And that's probably where Phoenix are going to have to win this game. At the free throw line, they're going to have to step up, make them in the tough situation. Kids at home, go practice your free throws. They become more and more important at the end of the game as Adams gets to the rim and draws a foul.
Here's May at the free throw line. Remember that game a few weeks ago up in Cairns, where he just went to the line and was just nerves of steel. Never looked like missing. Not a whole lot of time came off the clock either.
22 points on 7 of 15. 9 assists as well for the night for Jalen Adams.
They've got a small lineup in so they can switch everything. Switch and double.
There's one. And trail by as much as 16 midway through the third quarter, Sydney. Now they trail by 4.
No timeouts at all for the Phoenix. They've just got to get it over.
The first part of the job is getting it over, and they do. Statman. Back now to Foxwell and then Creek. The Phoenix try and absorb time off the clock. Shot clock now to 8.
He wants this moment, Ben Air.
He's been the man with the golden hand tonight. Slips over. Foxwell. Big moment. Scores. Wow. Owen Foxwell takes the moment and owns it.
I said Ben Air wanted and he slipped over. Gave it to Owen Foxwell, and the biggest bucket of his career so far. He's had some good moments. Normally on the defensive end. What a time. What a finish through contact.
Which way did he go, Hools? Which way?
Exactly right. Jalen Adams just closed out aggressively. Owen Foxwell's going to go left.
It's a great wall up too at the rim, but his ability to adjust mid-air. Up and under.
You're right, it's a sensational wall up from Tui. That's just a better shot from Owen Foxwell. And the Phoenix can smell it.
I don't know if you saw in the last free throws that Adam shot, but the screen's shaking, the place is shaking, the fans are right into this at the new and improved SBC.
21 seconds left. A 6-point lead. They're in the heartland tonight. And let's be honest, Phoenix fans would have had very low expectations heading into this one. No Alan Williams, no Craig Moller, no Gary Brown, no Matt Kenyon, and as it's turned out, no Abdel Nader, and they lead with 21 seconds remaining.
There's still 21 seconds. It could come on right at the end to finish off, but an absolutely fantastic performance so far, but game's not over. 21 seconds left. Lock in defensively. No threes, no fouling shooters. Keep them off the free throw line. Keep that clock ticking.
Denzel Valentine, he's been hot hand in this second half. Look for them to run something for him. You're right, a quick three here, or a quick bucket at all for Sydney, and then you've still got to make your free throws. They've done a good job of that. 17 of 21.
Six-point difference. Quick bucket needed here for Sydney. And that comes through Kawhi. 4 points.
Nice. Look after the ball. Go to the free throw line.
And Sean Bruce and Foxwell get caught up. Now Mitch Creek and Kawhi go face to face.
Big free throws here. That was a very quick bucket. That was good. Good set. They got it quick enough where
anything in it?
I don't think so. Not in this part of the game. Not in the bonus yet. Foxwell 3 of 4 on the night. Creek 8 of 10. Ben Air's the one who won the ball in his hands right now. Let's go to the free throw line.
15.7 put back on the clock. And Phoenix with the important inbound and then to hold their nerve. And they foul Ben Air. who walks to the other end, an 87% free throw shooter. And Angus Glover fouls out.
I also don't think you can understand that pass from Ruben Rungy just then, when I think the Kings wanted the ball to go to Owen Foxwell. They wanted to foul the young fellow and send him to the free throw line, but to thread that needle to Ben Air
with a bounce pass too, there's a slow pass.
In that moment, had to be precision, and it was. Sydney still have a timeout here.
Ruben's a great utility to have. Can play multiple positions, trust him at the end of the games to make the right decisions, and as we saw, thread the needle of a pass in a full court press to Ben Air to get the ball to who Phoenix need to get the ball to go to the free throw line and hopefully make these two.
Fans can just start to breathe a little easier. He's had an outstanding night, Ben Air. He takes care of business.
You see, that's the one you wanted the ball in his hands to shoot those free throws. And last time out here for the Kings. Yeah, you probably do need a three. No timeouts left. What a performance from Southeast Melbourne. Backs completely against the wall. Everybody was out.
Perth and Illawarra coming up next. It's going to be a hard act to follow if you're the Wildcats and the Hawks, because this has been some sort of ride, but the Wildcats are on a very, very unique ride of their own right now.
And that man, Bryce Cotton, on an absolute tear, an historic tear. Front runner for the MVP. Perth Wildcats are just rolling at the moment.
Front runner?
I'm using front runner. Yeah, he's got 9 and 2 knuckles, I think.
I think
9 fingers and 2
I'm pretty
knuckles
sure the engraver stopped halfway through the N, on the very end of his surname. It just, no, just in case.
I think that award's been taken care of.
Okay, he's finished the end. He's finished the end.
The best part about it is he's not done. Bryce Cotton.
And he won't be satisfied with the MVP. He's chasing championships, and they're playing as well as anybody at the moment.
And the Hawks, as we mentioned earlier, need wins. Here's the ladder as it stands right now. You can see the Sydney Kings, we mentioned that they're teetering. This win is damaging for them. Valentine falls short. Now the party can start for the Phoenix. The Heartland rises one of the most incredible against the odds victories that you will ever see. 104-98. The Southeast Melbourne Phoenix defy everyone and defeat the Sydney Kings.
I mean, we said it all game long. I'm a little bit lost for words too, but give all the credit to the Phoenix. No one really gave him a shot. There's our Foot Locker player of the game. No surprise. If they were going to win, he was going to have to win the Foot Locker player of the game, and he did. Mitch Creek, 31-10. Had 3 steals as well, but everybody else. Cody Statman was enormous. Ben Air had 23 points. Owen Foxwell was huge down the stretch.
It is hard to work out what's just happened. Brilliant by the team in green in front of their home fans. We are back to wrap it up on the other side of this.